2 p.m. in the studios. Now, my name is Owen Ezaga with a lot of expectations from, of course, you, the viewer, because I'll be expecting a lot from you through that is the social handles, sending in your messages, probably replying, and I will be getting to all those other questions that probably you'll be asking, and I'll be replying them right here for you. Now, one of the biggest thing is how the Olympics are going on, and secondly, of course, we did see a new era set to occur for Arua Hill Sports Club. Now the rumors are probably so close to becoming the truth, or the facts are coming out, and Arua Hill is set to complete its move from Arua to, or the relocation from Arua City to, that is Glue City. Now this comes after of course different closest sources have of course have informed very many journalists about how it's going on, and Wiso Time Desk is meant to know that this is only left with documentation or paperwork to see that this team or this club moves away. And what could be the biggest problem of this? That's one big question someone would be asking. Remember, this club has been from the lot of being a league, from the lower league. Yes, it started as the Dove Football Club, just a few names that gathered up, then the different players who had also ganged up as all stars who had played but of course did not have so much into the league, also started playing their game in Arua City here. Later on they had to unite and form a team called the Doves All Stars so that the two names could fit in. And indeed, this team had a very good background, a history, where of course they had everything possible to see that the world needed to know about the team. And indeed, it worked out for them. Onama Bosco was the man in charge of the team, tried his level best to see that this team really needed to push in there. And indeed, the team worked out, pushing things the right the players, the technical team, though at first it was his own sole team that he tried pushing. Then of course board members and some of the directors, shareholders had to come in, but later on Gilt Buga Nasru and of course Okule, yes, is the man who is most of the times people call him Malim. Yes, he's the man who also had to take on the team. Now they brought the team in a very better way. But later on, you did see the sponsorship deal of Azizi Damani that came through, and instead had to also buy the team at 90%. But later on, we did see Aziz Daman also quit the team and gave it back to, that is the lawyer himself, Mr. Gilt Buga, who tried his level best also to see that the team moved on. But later on, yes, the team was sold to, that is the DI. Of course, as you can know, the proprietor is Mr. Ita Joel, who of course took charge of the team under DI and this club. Now as I talk, they bought 100% over the shares, and in that I remember by then I was still working for the team, and a deal that of course went worth some good millions to, that is the team of course the former owners. But in the due course, for those who didn't know, yes, the team has been doing well. Royal Sports Club first season after their purchase was interesting. They penetrated through to the first tier league, and then of course from the big league unbeaten, won a trophy. Then the second time was when they, of course, had their moments into the FUFA, the Elite League. I'm talking about the Star Times Uganda Premier League, a game that did not really match so well. Yes, they had everything, but of course, I think the owners of this team did not now want to invest in this team, because I can assure you, getting into football business is not an easy thing. And indeed that had to push them far away from there. And indeed being gotten off from there means that this team could really not now get to where they expected them to be. Why? Because the team has different aspects to talk about. Look at the funding. look at the state of the team, because things like infrastructure, you need playgrounds, let's say, even though it's not a stadium. That is one big thing that is there, and then you need to have the costs that come in with this. You need to pay salaries and arrears. Indeed, I think the boss of DI saw this not being so much working out, because there's no direct cash you get. Even if you finish as the table topper, or you are the champion in the Star Times Uganda Premier League, the only thing you can get is 60 million. Yes, according to the federation, 60 million. But in a season, how much do you spend? You spend a lot of money. That has always been a challenge to the teams. So I believe it's so challenging, and something that needs to be put, something that needs to be pushed every time is this. But all in all, he had to, I think, when they were kicked off from, that is the FUFA, the Uganda Premier League to FUFA Big League this season. Of course, they were kicked even in the mid-season, because they couldn't fulfill the second round's requirements. It was so challenging, and indeed, Arua Hill Sports Club owners, even the people, could not now manage to facilitate the team so much more. We did see some changes, the president being Takowa. We did see CEO of the lady who was, of course, got on board, but still, Barbara, you would still see that no, things are not working out, because players and the rest were not in position. So a lot of things that went wrong and went into this. But I think the best decision made so far is selling the team. But the worst decision made is selling it, and of course being taken away from that is the West Nile region, because it's one big thing. Just imagine this team is sold, and there are very many people. This is like unemployment, yes, for people. It is sold, but again, it's going to be taken to a different region. Now, that's where West Nile and Arua City probably have lost in, because you can't just lose anything or something like that and you think it's going to be working out. Why? Because there are two big stories to talk about. Player talent, or the talents. We have vast talent in West Nile, a lot of it, but what does that talent bring out? How do they execute their talent? Where do they display their talent from? Now, these clubs act as mother clubs to very many players, and that's why I'll keep saying players should give respect to clubs, and clubs should give respect equally to players. Without a player, this club does not exist. Without a player, the clubs do not exist. But again, without the club being formed, these players equally don't have where to go. So that is how it is. So when you have an attachment, it's just like me having attachment already with West Nile Television. If it was not there, then maybe I wouldn't be at West Nile TV. So that's the brand I'm talking about. The company will always remain, and immediately as soon as it's formed, it will always remain. You player can go, any other thing can go. But again, this is where this company exposes you to the world. This is where now the basket of talent we keep talking about in West Nile could have worked out through such clubs. But now if it is taken away from Arua, it's taken away from West Nile, then very many West Nilers may not get the opportunity to go to Gulu and play. Why? Because the Gulu people who have bought or who are finalizing with the documentation and the buying off of Arua Hill will also have maybe an idea of saying, what is our heritage? How do we also push our players from here? That means there are a lot of players who may get also chances to play in this team. I'm told the team the club name may change. In fact, it shall change. That is after final acquisition. Of course, you will have to table to, that is a Federation of Uganda Football Association, once again for change of name. Remember, according to the rule, I think it's supposed to be after 1 year, and that is 1 full season. So that is very big. Not only that, there's Wachiso Giants. That was Ian Koboko, Senke, FC. That has also gotten themselves away from the team. Where are they? They have gone to, they're now in Wakiso. that was Senke, but later on sold. So you see what I'm talking about? That's exactly what is going to be happening. And how many people from Koboko play at Wakiso Giants? Those are some of the things that in football we look as football stakeholders and feel really taking this club away from Arua will cost us a lot. Very, very lot, because if you look at where the team is laying, going to play, then there's going to be a very big one. But reports have it, it's Credo Nursery and Primary School that has taken the team, and they will be looking forward to see how it is. So much doing very, very much facts finding about whatever process is going on. I'm in touch with already the team in Gulu, of course, who did confirm to me that yes, they are in that moment, and they are, of course, the paperwork and the rest are the ones that are going on. As soon as it is done, they will also put it officially that now they have a team called the Arua Hill Sports Club. That means they will have to change names later on, but still they can put in there. Remember, this team is still going to play in the big league because they are there. I don't know how far with their registration. I don't know how many players they have in the system, but negotiations have gone on well, and players who are there, can they crossover is another thing that we shall be waiting to see from the team. Now, when we leave that there, what could have hindered Arua Hill, or what could have affected Arua Hill's sell-off? Yes, I think, to me, that's my only opinion. I think, first of all, Arua Hill, via making money, was so not much, because they couldn't make a lot of money because the team itself had few funds who would not make the expected fee, yes, to them, but still they would make some money. And then two, Arua Hill not having a place to play, a stadium to play. Remember, they worked on Arua Hill Sports Club in their first season, which was vandalized, yes, vandalized by unknown people after, of course, quite a long time. But what happens is that this team needs to make sure that things work the way they are. So them working the way they are means that there's nothing big you will be expecting from the bosses. Why? Because they don't want to invest anymore. And I believe it's because they have also made a lot of losses in this. Two, in fact, three, the team that they worked with, I think, did not handle the funds or finances very well. For that is the team of Arua Hill Sports Club. So those are some of the things that you can talk about that could have hindered. And now, again, you getting to see that you need to make, because remember, there were a lot of promises made to the public by, that is, the president of the team. There were a lot of course, promises made by the club president or the club owner to the players. Then there were still a lot of promises made by, that is, the president of this club to the community. So a lot has been expected, and it was a lot of expectation coming. Now things did not work the way they were supposed to work. So I think that has really a wholesome, if you add all that, you will see that it has hindered or it has affected the sell-off, and that's the reason why it is, because now the board of Arua Hill feels they can't handle, the owners feel they can't handle anymore. They don't have the money, and that is where the biggest challenge, I think, has come to. So we want to see how that pushes. We want to see how they will be making sure things work in their favor. But what can Credo do, Credo Nursery and Primary School? What is that they will do? One, I want to say, getting in the right people to work for them. Two, it's going to be a process of them looking for players, because most of the players from Arua Hill, their contracts had gotten done. They have also moved on to different clubs that you could have talked about, and that is one or other thing that they are going to be battling with. Look at what exactly has happened into the team. That means they will also need to find a way, because for Arua Hill, you would also say that them not having a ground to play affected them so much, but their credo should be having already playground. Now, can they put it to the standard needed by the Federation of Uganda Football Association? Very soon, inspections are going on. The deadline for first registration is today. How far have they taken? How far have they moved with the registration? Requirements needed, at least 10 players in your system, database, TMS, needs to have that. Have they done that? Is it necessary? Are they going to make sure that this works out? That's another question of course, to Credo to find out whether it works out. But all in all, I think for me it was a bad idea for this team to move to Gulu, or if this team, if the deal gets done without any other problem, because it is going to be affecting a lot. But again, you would say that it may be also good because the owners couldn't afford, so that means Arua Hill would not be there maybe. So it also moving that way. There's also positivity that this team will still exist and make sure it works out. Now this brings me to one thing in club ownership. If this was not going to be happening, that means according to the new federation rule of club ownership, FUFA was supposed to take this team, own it for 1 full month, and then maybe if a buyer comes or another person who is ready to take the team comes, takes on this team. Yeah. Now this is one thing that you could be talking about right now. But again, I think FUFA came up. I saw some story about them saying they want to create in a football team of FUFA that needs to compete with, of course, the rest of the clubs in the league. My question came onto like, okay, in case the FUFA football club wins, do they go with the trophy or they don't? That is one. Two, how are they going to be able to make sure that this works out? Because how are they going to, won't there be double standards? You know, you're the league organizers, everything is under you. You are the president is yours, the match officials are yours, the secretariat is yours, licensing committee is under you. Don't you think that would be another bad one? I believe that is a very, very bad thing. I believe it's so big. In fact, I believe there are a lot of things running in there in FUFA. Recently, in fact yesterday, you saw a pop-up of the next FUFA drum that is starting in August. We're already here, 24th August. So a lot of things that are there. What is the problem? Recently, FUFA introduced the Pro Agenda. I don't think they have achieved it 100%. No. I went for that meeting and the expectations and the obligations, the goals that were to be achieved were very high, and out of that I should say like 20% has even maybe not yet been achieved. The Pro Agenda. If you do a revision of the Pro Agenda, you will know what I'm talking about. Now here they brought in other leagues. There's one called there's the FUFA TV game. There's the women football. There's apart from women football, there are other games that they have brought into there now. There's the FUFA drum. The FUFA drum, ever since COVID, has been delayment, which to me has also affected the flow of FUFA drum. FUFA drum should have lost, to me it has lost meaning, and the timing is wrong, very, very wrong. You see, right now it is, then there's the Super 8, a Super 8 that has also gotten a challenge. How has it gotten the challenge? Why should you bring the national team into the into the Super 8. Okay, it would be maybe for challenge. But remember, you said Super 8, the top 8 teams. In fact, I think 4 from, yes, top 8. So now the Super 8 has also lost meaning. I saw a club complaining that they were supposed to be there because they finished 8th, but now it is the national team select that is going to be participating in this. Just imagine. So I think there's a lot on FUFA's desk, and Engineer Moses Magogo should understand that this really had a lot of things to do with what he wants to implement, because you can't just push people to in a short time. You're pushing very many agendas. It won't work. The recent agenda is the community club agenda. That is also there. So this is still going to be by the same clubs, by the same people. If it needs funding, if it needs this and that, it will still work. Trust me, it will still work. So I don't think it's a very it's something that is big, but it has gotten to people's nerves. We need to look into this and see that things work out the right way. So with FUFA, I think they need to work on that so that things go on well or as expected. Anyway, let's move away from there. We've sorted out, we've talked about Arua Hill Sports Club. Arua Hill Sports Club is moved to, that is Gulu, probably soon. And then we're just waiting for official confirmations, but already close sources have revealed that they are moving. We've talked about how much it would cost us, people who are in football, in sports, how it would cost us, because there are a lot of things from on FUFA's desk that is pushed back to us, the people who also love the sports. What about now the Olympics? How is Uganda doing in the Olympics? That's also another big story that we want to talk about. Yes, Olympics has a lot of things, and by yesterday I was watching. Remember, we have one lady who is a swimmer. She's called Muzito, and Muzito had all that it took to make sure that things work out. She's a swimmer. She went and represented Uganda in the Paris 2024 Olympics that is ongoing right now, and freestyle is what she does. Freestyle, which of course was there. Now she is being cut short of the semi-finals because she couldn't really make it there. Though we shall still be discussing a big one, because yesterday in her swimming she went up to 55 minutes and 95 seconds. Now at the same time, she couldn't make it to the next level. But Hong Kong swimmer, I'm talking about the lady Siban, was the lady who went on. Siban, she was so tremendous. She did well. She swam for 53 minutes and 2 seconds during the heat 4 that went in there. So she's the biggest moment there. But you would see that Muzito tried her level best, because she also broke her own record. What she did there was not what exactly made her to qualify. Remember, there's that limit they make sure that you qualify for to make sure you get there. So this lady tried her level best. She's best in US, but she has really always come through to, this is her second sting in the Olympics, to make sure that she represents Uganda in the Olympics. Of course, this time around, Olympics is taking place in France, and indeed she is doing very well. Now, other swimmer is called Jesse Sengozi, who is also yet to compete, because he will be looking forward to see that he gets in there. So how far has this reached, or the rugby, the medals and the rest reach? Right now, as I talk, by Tuesday yesterday, Japan had secured 7 of the gold medals and 2 silver wares, and not forgetting, of course, 4 bronzes, as China follows with, of course, 6 gold medals and, of course, 6 silver wares, and not forgetting 2 bronzes for the team. The host nation, I'm talking about France, has so far, they had a number of 5 golds, 8 silverwares, and 4 bronzes. Okay? So that is how it is. You know where exactly Uganda will always come. When you talk about athletics, you would see Uganda getting there. I did give you a list of when Ugandans are so much into the contest. Friday, this Friday, a lot of them, athletics, the names like Halima Nakai, names like Chemutai, names like Kiprotich, names like Chelengat, all will be in action to see that they are going to do different, of course, distances in the run. And that is going to be in the athletics. Still in France, in Paris, Uganda went with 24 names, yes, or members or athletes who will be right there. Out of the 24, 2 were swimmers, 1 cyclist, and of course you could say the remaining, the 21 were of course the ones of athletics. So the athletes will be right there. That is going to be a very, very big moment for Uganda. That means they have different 10,000, 5,000, 800 meters. You know, a lot is there. And this team was led by the record holder, the world's record holder, Joshua, of course, Kiprotich, who is there, and Joshua Kiprotich is also right there. So a lot of things are coming, but out of all those good things, let's hope for Uganda to also have a gold medal. And we will be waiting to see what exactly will be the outcome after them finishing up on Friday. But long distance runners are also right there. Can Uganda still make it there? Because this time round, I'm seeing already the cycling is going on, but I've not seen the Ugandan cyclist. Of course, maybe that is not yet his distance that he's going to be representing. So it's so interesting that you will be wanting to see also Ugandans doing cycling at a distance that you will be expecting. But all in all, I think it was good because I was talking to Donald Rukare, the National Council of Sports, of course, Olympics, the president of the Olympics in the National Council of Sports, saying that yes, this time round they will do everything. Donald Rugare is the man in there. Of course, maybe one of these days I'll be getting him through maybe a Zoom call and find out what exactly he is getting us, telling us from that side. But all in all, they are doing well in Paris. So very, very interesting. But when they finish, we shall also be giving you updates about that, because we expect Uganda to at least come up with something big right through. Now, in the rankings right now, as I talk for the rugby world, there's also another interesting moment because rugby is going on another direction. The rankings, the pairing has been confirmed after 2024 men's Africa rugby, of course, got done or concluded with of course, Zimbabwe, who are the new, of course, men's rugby champions. We did tell you that and gave you all what exactly it means after they had beaten Algeria by 29-3 points. And that is the cup final, or the final cup. That is our own home ground, Nambole Stadium. Remember, Uganda had gone out earlier on. So let me give you a detail. Now, the men's rugby quarters went on well, and you did see things go in the right way. How is the ranking right now? With that, Zimbabwe ranks at 85th up. Then, of course, Algeria at number 58th up. Then Namibia at 25 down. Kenya with 37th up. Then you have Uganda with 36th at 36 up. Now Senegal with 56 down. Cote d'Ivoire with 62nd down. And Burkina Faso 92nd still. And Burkina Faso, remember, were relegated after, of course, losing the 7th to 8th, of course, playoff to Cote d'Ivoire. That was another big one, and this meant that they will be replaced by of course the winning team from the team that will be playing the 2024 Men's Rugby Cup. Of course, yes, Men's Rugby Africa Cup. That is going to be happening soon, later in the year. And that will be in Morocco, by the way. So we're expecting a lot of things. As it stands right now, the pairing for the 2025 has also come through in the Men's Rugby Africa Cup. As I can tell you, 1 versus 8. And this is going to be Zimbabwe taking on Rugby Africa Cup, of course, challenge winner. In case the team that is going to be representing, of course, the team of Burkina Faso will be the team we shall talk about. Then number 2 will be facing 7, and that means Algeria will be facing Cote d'Ivoire. And then, of course, number 3 will face number 4, which is Namibia taking on Senegal. And number 5 takes on 6. It's going to be an East African derby where Kenya welcomes or takes on Uganda. And the tournament will also serve as, of course, the Continental Rugby World Cup 2027 qualifiers that will be coming in there. And this will, of course, all be in Kampala, Uganda. That means Nambole is yet to host more of the games that will be coming through right there. If all that goes on well, then we shall be waiting to see how the rest of the things go, but because it's still another big one. But still, in this rugby, we saw a lot of things that went through as Uganda made amends. So with that,